Hey, how's it going, everybody? Jeremy Donson here with e7musicschool.com. Today we're going to be doing one of my all-time favorite songs to play on the drums, which is Toxicity by System of a Down. So I hope you really enjoy this video, and if you do, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, if you need any help or have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is below. And best of all, if you want to play the entire song, go to the website to check out the full song breakdown. All right, here we go. Let's get started. Alright, so at the very beginning we're going to rest 4 measures, and there's 6 beats in each measure. So we're going to rest 4 measures of 6 beats each. So let's do that, and then I'll show you what he does. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then we're on to what he's playing here. All right, so once you rest the 4 measures, you're going to crash, flam, bass, bass, flam, bass, flam. Right? Let me do that again. Okay, so we crash with the bass drum, and then we're going to be doing flams. Flams simply raising one stick higher than the other. Bring them down at the same time so they're nice and separated. You don't want what's called a flat flam, which is where they almost hit at the same time. But you want that nice separation there. Okay, so crash, flam, bass, bass, flam, bass, flam. Next, after that, okay, so here we have 1 snare, 2 high toms, and it's all single stroke. Single stroke meaning it's just right, left, right, left, right, left the whole time. So we have snare, high, high, snare, high, high. Sticking again is right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. So snare, high, high, snare, high, high, right? Then you're going to do 5 snare drums. Digga, digga, dut. Okay? Now, let's start at that 5th snare. So after you finish this, snare, high, high, snare, high, high, digga, digga, dut. On that 5th snare, that starts the next fill. So let's say we're starting at the beginning of those 5 snares. So on that 5th snare, that's going to be the beginning of the next fill, which is snare, high, mid, floor, crash. And you're going to want to stick it right, left, crash, right? So all together slowly, we have one more time. Ready, go. Okay, there we have it. Now, that is now put together. So just to recap, ready, go. There we have it, and we crash with the bass on the end there. All right, so now once we finish the fill, we have this beat that I just played. So let's break that down. So what we do here, starting on the crash with bass after we finish the fill, we're going to go crash and ghost and bass snare. Crash and ghost and bass snare. Now ghost simply means you're not going to hit the snare very loudly. It's going to be quiet. And it's going to look like this. So when you do a ghost, you don't want to raise your stick high, as that defeats the purpose of playing it softly. It makes sense, right? The closer the snare stick is to the snare, the softer you're going to hit it. The higher it is, the louder you're going to hit it. So you want to go crash and ghost and bass snare, right? Okay, so breaking that down, it's going to look and sound like this. Crash and ghost and bass snare. Crash and ghost and bass snare. So let's break that down. So we're going crash and ghost, right? And ghost. Now after that, you do and bass. So instead of going and ghost, you simply do and bass. So and ghost and bass. Crash and ghost and bass snare. That snare is hit with hi-hat. So and ghost and bass snare, like so. And ghost and bass snare. Okay, so after we do crash and ghost and bass snare, then we're going to do and snare bass bass. And you're going to crash with the bass there. And snare bass bass, like that. Okay. Now, once we do that, here's what's next. So crash and ghost and bass snare, that's the same thing. Crash and ghost and bass snare, crash. Right? There we have it. Now, let's see what this sounds like with music, and then we'll go from there. There we have it. All right, awesome. Okay, so now once we do that and we crash, we go back to the flam section again. Same thing. And then we have this fill. Now, again, he's left-hand lead. He leads left hand on many of his fills. So when we're doing this, we really want to make sure that we stick it properly. Now, really honestly, there are two different ways that you can stick this. There is the left-handed way, which is how he does it, and then there's a right-handed variant, which I'm going to show you, that you can do as well. If leading with the left hand is just really screwing you up, then you can do it this other variant, and I'm going to show you both ways right now. All right, so here we go. So here's how we do this fill. First, you hit the high tom with the right hand. Then you're going to hit two snares. So tom, snare, snare, or high, snare, snare, right? Then you're going to do three mid-toms, right, left, right. Okay, now once you do that, we have left, right on the snare drum. So I would recommend you get that comfortable before you go on any further. And if you need to get comfortable with this first, certainly do that too. But you want to make sure that the sticking is correct before you add on to it. It's kind of like building a house, right? You want to make sure that the foundation is set, concrete is established before you're going to add walls onto it, right? Or frame the house up. So same thing here. Make sure everything's smooth and comfortable and you got the sticking down. Now, once you do left, right on the snare, you're going to do high, mid, floor, floor, crash. And the high mid is going to be left, right. We're going to talk more about that in a second. Left, right, and then left, right on the floor tom. Hence, it's a left-hand lead fill. And then you're going to crash with the bass with the left hand. So putting this fill together, this is what we have. Ready? Go. There we have it. Now, there is a second variant, like I said. Let me show you what that is. All right, now the second variation, here's how you do it. We're going to do right-hand lead this time instead of left, and it's all going to be single stroke, okay? So let me show you what we're going to do. So instead of going left-hand lead, we do it this way. Okay, so what I did there is I added one high tom and I took one floor tom away. So instead of high, mid, floor, floor, left, right, we did high, high, mid, floor, right, left, right? So the fill together is right, left, high, snare, snare. And then we have left, right, left on the mid-tom, right? Now, after that, we have 2 snares, right, left, and then 2 high tom, and then 1 mid, 1 floor, crash with the bass. So in short, the 2 pieces are piece number 1, right? And then piece number 2, snare, snare, high, high, mid, floor, crash. And that's all right-hand lead. Now, why do we have this variation here? Well, a couple of things. So one, when we're doing the other fill, it works fine if we do left, right, because it's left stick, left side, right stick, right side. Now, if we did the right-hand variation that I showed you just now, right, left, if I didn't add 1 more high tom, it would be a problem because we would go snare, snare, high, mid. Oh, shoot, I'm crossing my stick now. So you're either going to hit your stick or you're going to have to very quickly get it out of the way. Right? And that's just not really musically sound, and music theory just doesn't align with that. So snare, snare, high, mid, floor, floor, it would be an issue here, right? Especially at that tempo. So therefore, we do 2 high toms, and then it's right hand leading and left hand following like it normally is. So just a little bit of explaining there for why we do the sticking a certain way. That is why. Okay, so the whole fill and the other way. Same thing, basically, just different sticking. And you hit 1 high tom versus 2 high toms in the other version. All right, good. Now that we have that, let's put it to music, and I'll show you the next part. Okay, so we do the same thing again. We do the same thing that we did. Right? Same thing. Then we get into this. Okay, so let's go over how to do this. We're going to do crash with bass and then 3 mid toms. Now, after you do that, then we go to the floor tom. 2 floor toms. After, we go to the snare. So basically, in short, you have crash, 3 mid, and then from then on out, it's 2 on each drum. It just kind of starts on the end and works its way to the beginning, or to the snare, high, and then mid again. So it's crash, 3 mid, and then it's 2 on everything. Right? I think it's a lot easier to think of it that way and remember it that way. Then you simply do it a second time. There we have it. Okay. All right. Now that we have that, once it's done, you go back to the same beat again. Right? And then we go from there, and I'm going to show you what we do right now. Let's check it out. Okay, so it's the same thing we did on the first fill. The only exception is we don't do this. We do this. So it's not 5 snares anymore. It's only 2, right? So we have everything the same. It all connects the same. So from the flams to the fill, this is what you do. So again, the only difference is you don't do... Instead, you do 2 snares. Snare, snare, high, high, mid, floor, crash. That's it, right? So, all right, very good. Now, starting at the end of that fill on that crash, here's what we do next. All right, now this is really cool. I like this. So what we do here is we go crash and ghost end bass snare and snare bass crash. Same thing that we did before. Then it changes. It's going to change right here. So we're going to do snare, snare, and bass snare. Right? So you should have two distinct heavy hi-hats here. And it's going to sound really cool because it's just going to be two nice heavy hi-hats in the middle of that fill going on. Okay, so doing what I just showed you and breaking it down. Right. So we got snare, snare, and bass snare, and that last snare is with hi-hat. So we have snare, snare, and bass. That bass is by itself. Snare, snare, and bass snare. That snare is with hi-hat. So again, slowly. Right? Then simply, it's just snare, high, mid, floor, crash. And the way you want to stick this is right on the snare, left on the high tom, right on the mid tom, left on the floor tom, and then crash with the bass drum. Just like that. Okay, so the whole thing. And there we have it. All right, so we have now broken this down in detail. One more thing that I just want to touch on really quick here. Oftentimes I'll get issues, or I'll have students that have issues with certain aspects of this. Number one, it's usually the sticking of everything. It's like, I just got to get the sticking down and memorize it, right? So there's some very helpful tips on how to practice things. If you've ever heard the saying, practice makes perfect, it's actually not true. What if you practice it wrong? What if you develop bad muscle memory for a week, working on it really hard, 3 hours at 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day, whatever? That's not good. You develop bad muscle memory. So it's perfect practice makes perfect. There's a right way to practice things, right? There's ways that you can practice something for an hour instead of 10 hours, and you'll get more progress in that 1 hour than you did in 10. So it's really important just to know how to practice. So there's some helpful tips in that. One thing that I will give you as far as technique goes is this. So the prep stroke. So whenever you have this beat, that bass drum is independent, and you have to do a prep stroke there. So what prep means is it's short for preparation stroke. So when you go crash and ghost and bass, it's very quick. And ghost and bass. Right? So you have to be ready to kick it before you're supposed to kick, or it's just going to be late. For example, if I don't raise my foot when I'm until when I'm supposed to hit it, it's going to be late. So what you do is you raise your beater, or you raise your heel if you're doing heel up, and ghost, and at the same time my hand comes down, my foot goes up. Or if you're playing foot down, heel down, then your beater goes up, like so. So it's going to go up at the same time so that you're ready to kick. Right? That's prep stroke. So that's really important to work on when you're doing that. Also, one other really quick helpful tip is make sure you're doing it right. There's 3 fundamental things when you're learning something, whether you're a beginner day one or an advanced drummer learning the hardest of the hard stuff to do. Slow it down, break it down, and say it and play it. Those 3 things are critically important for many, many, many reasons. I could talk for over an hour on just those 3 things, but basically, slow it down, break it down, say it, and play it. If you're having an issue, slow it down. If you're still having an issue, break it down. Just isolate the piece that you're having a problem with. Do 1 or 2 beats at a time. Then you can say it and play it. Words are creative. When you say something, it helps you to make sure that you're doing whatever you're saying. There may be times where you think you're playing at something, but when you say it out loud, you're like, oh shoot, I didn't kick the bass. I said bass, but I didn't kick it. So it'll help you identify mistakes, right? So anyway, so that's very, very helpful. Slow it down, break it down, say it, and play it. And there's a lot of depth there that I'll go over way more in detail in other videos as well. But I really hope that this is helpful for you guys and you really enjoy it. And I love this song so much. It's so awesome. But if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to me. And until next time, be sure to have fun, stay awesome, and rock on. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.